Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. It is Caroline here from Power of Choice. How are we doing today? Yeah, who is there? Just come and say hello, say hi. Hi, Cam. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so today I just have 5 tips I want to share with us on content creation. You know, content they say is king. If you're selling out here on social media, you should understand content. You should understand how to create amazing content. You should understand how to create content that will sell your post. What sells for us here on social media, whatever service you're selling or whatever product you're putting out here on social media, what sells them is the content you put out here with it. It's your content that sells for you on social media. I know, like let's say for example, if you go into a store, right? If you go into a store, the owner of the store, right, will be able to explain to you what their product does. It will be able to tell you the product does this, the product does that, or you know, different things they will be able to tell you because they are there right there in the store. They can explain that to you. But I here on the online space is what you put out there that is going to explain to your audience, that is going to explain to your customers what your product does. So that's why it's very important to understand your product. It's very important to know the kind of content you put out there, because it's what you put out there that is going to speak for you. That's why content creation is very, very important. And every business owner out there should understand content creation. You should understand copywriting or sales to know how to put your product out here on social media. If you're just selling offline, it's okay. You can just describe your product, you can explain to them and all that. But if you're on here on social media where you post and go, you're not there to explain like Facebook, you just post on your wall and go, you post in groups and go. You're not out there to explain. So it's what you put out there that is going to do the explanation. So that's why it's good you learn how to create good content. I teach content creation, right? That's one of the areas I teach, and in most of my programs I incorporate content creation. So I just want to give us some tips on content creation today. First thing I want to talk about here is understanding your product. As easy as this may sound, some of us, we don't even understand our product. We don't understand the services we are rendering. We don't understand the products we are putting out there. We don't really take time to understand them. Like if you're out here to sell, take out that extra time to understand your product. What is your product about? Understand the features and you understand the benefits. Most times, especially for some of us that are into marketing, this multi-level marketing, all we do is just go out there and copy and paste what our uplines are doing or whatever they say that is selling, that is working for a particular person. We just copy and paste on here on our wall or into groups. No, we shouldn't do that. If you're a business owner, you shouldn't do that, because that could be working for that person, because that person has a different thank you for tuning in, sis. That could be working for that person because that person has a different audience from you. So those are the things we should understand. Understand your products. Your product could be working. If you go and copy and paste and you don't really understand what you're selling, it's not good for you, because what you're copying from somebody and what you're pasting, you have different audience and different language. Sometimes the language they use is even different from you. That's why you should understand your product and you create content according to your own audience. So the first thing I'm talking about, my first tip I'm giving here is understand your product. Take time to understand your product, understand your service. Then the second thing I want to talk about here is know your audience. And that's why it's very important for you not to. Hi Chere, thanks for tuning in. And that's why it's important for you not to copy and paste. Know your audience, because if you copy and pasting, like I said earlier, you could have different audience. So if you have different audience from your upline or from whoever you're copying from, it might not work well for you, and then you will complain that the product is not working, or what you're selling, people are not responding, because you have different audience, right? So take out your time and understand your product and understand your audience. One thing about your audience, you want to know, who are you serving? Are your audience male? Are they female? What age group do they fall in? And where do they live? Are they location based or is global? So when you understand all these things, it's going to help you when you're writing out your posts. So take out time to understand who your audience are. Like, everyone is not your audience. Everyone that, when you post in a group, you post on your wall, everyone is not your audience. Hi, thanks for tuning in. Everyone is not your audience. So the moment you understand that, it's even easier for you if you understand that, because if you're posting, your friends and family, they are not buying from you. It makes it easier for you, right? So that you will be like, oh yeah, they are not my audience, and you go out there and look for your audience. Because even what we are selling, our friends and our family, they might not be our audience, but there are other people out there that are our audience. So take out your time to know who your product is meant for, who is going to be your customer. And what I actually do that helps me a lot is having an avatar. Like, you create something around the person that you think is your audience. Just name it. Look for a name for it. You can decide to call it John, you can decide to call it Mary, you can decide to call it Martha. Just look for a name, and then you start writing. Why I'm saying this, because this helps, it makes it easier for you when you go out there and start posting, because it's as if your post, you're talking to her. It becomes like talking to one-on-one with somebody, right? So it's like when you're putting out your post, you already know that this post is for Martha. So when I'm writing out that post, I'm talking to Martha. You see, so when I'm putting out my post, it goes straight to her, and that is the person that is my audience, and that is the person that is going to buy. Hi, thanks for tuning in. So that's why it's good to understand your audience and have that avatar or whatever you call it, just so that when you are talking, you're really talking to her, and that is your audience. It makes it easier for you when you're really like addressing the person's pains. So the next thing I have here is know the solution you bring to the table. What solution do you bring to the table? Sometimes we know our products, right? But what is the solution that your product brings to the table? Like for me, for example, my products out here, what I bring to the table is teaching those that are new to social media, right? For people that have products, they sell, they are business owners, and they don't know how to use social media to sell their product, the effective way to use social media to sell. They don't know how to do that. Those are my audience. My audience are those that don't know how to use social media effectively to sell their product. They might be posting out there on social media, but they don't know the right way to do it. So you see, I have to understand their pains. What are their challenges? What are their pains? Some of them, the whole social media thing is so overwhelming to them, because they are told to post on social media, because they hear that you sell on social media. So most of them come out here on social media and start posting, start selling, without knowing that to make it less overwhelming for them, they have to start with a particular platform. You know, so those are the things I teach them, because I know that the solution I bring to them is to tell them, start with a particular platform. Like, look for a platform that is more comfortable for you. Is it Instagram? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Whichever of the social media platforms that you're most comfortable with, that is the platform you start with. Start building on that platform. When you are more comfortable and you have learned that platform, then you now move to the next platform. You start adding on the other platforms. That's why it's overwhelming for them, because they try to do everything at once. So that's where I come in. I come in to provide that solution to them, telling them that they should use the first platform, start on one, build up, then add on. Then also they are new, they don't know what to post. They don't know, like, they don't even know how to create their content, right? So I teach on those things. So that's why every other person out here watching me, you have a business, what solution do you bring? If you have a product, like for some people, they have there are different kind of products people out there have. Some people have weight loss products, right? You need to understand what solution, what exactly does that weight loss product do. Thank you. What exactly does that weight loss product do to your audience? How is it going to help your audience? You need to understand it. You need to understand that that product, when do they use it best? Is it better to use that product in the morning to get the best result, or is it better to use it in the afternoon, or is it better to use it in the evening, or when you are sleeping? When is the best time to use that weight loss product? You need to understand this solution you bring, and you need to also understand that this solution I bring, it works best with exercising, or it works best with running, or it works best with jogging, or it works best with weightlifting. So when you understand all the solutions you bring, it's going to really help your audience out there, so that when you start talking to them, you include all those things into your posts. So as a business owner, understand the solution you bring to the table. Some of us here, we don't understand our solutions. We don't understand that this is what our product can help this person do. And also, when you understand it, also look at the benefit of benefits, the emotional side of it. What are the emotional side of it that this person is going to benefit from this product of mine? So when you understand all those things, it really goes a long way. So when you start putting out your post here, you start putting out the right post that talks directly to them. But if you don't understand these things and you start posting, you are not speaking to your audience. Then the next thing I want to talk about here is the structure of a sales post. Most people, you are out here, we are posting out here, we don't understand the structure of a sales post. Like, it's not every day we sell, right? Like, this thing is always sell, is 80% of value sharing and 20% of sales. And then if you're new, you can make it to be like 90% of value sharing and 10% of sales. What I mean by this is, let's say for example, you're posting out here, maybe on we have 7 days a week. Hi, thanks Precious, thanks for tuning in. We have like 7 days a week, right? So you can do like 6 days you share values, and 1 day you sell. You see it? So you can do that. So some people don't understand all these structures. They don't understand that when I'm having a sales post, or when I'm putting out a post there, that there is a structure you should have. And this structure is this, that your post should be educational. When I'm talking about educational, I mean you should be able to talk about the benefits of your product. You should be able to talk about the pains of your audience. You should be able to talk about their challenges. You should be able to talk about lots of things. Educate them. Look for things on your business and share an education about it. Educate them on the usefulness of your product. Educate them on the solutions your product brings. Educate them on their challenges. Some people, they have a challenge, they have a pain. They don't even know the extent that challenge or pain can take them to. But you have the solution to it, you know the extent that pain can take them to. For example, let's say for somebody that wants to lose weight, right? Okay, we all know the person knows that he needs to lose weight, but some of them might not know that if they don't do it within 1 month, they don't do it within 3 months or within a year, it can lead them to high blood pressure, or it can lead them to this, or it can lead them to that, right? They might not know the extent or it can get them to. But you have the solution and you know that, include it in your post. Let them know. maybe by the time they know that, oh my God, this is going to get me to this level, it might make them take immediate action instead of waiting. No, we human beings, we are somehow like that, right? If we sometimes we know, like, we kind of react immediately, but if not, we kind of relax. That is human nature sometimes. So you have to know, the moment you know that, you include it in your post. And then when you also, the next thing you have to do in your post also is to include the transformation. So if somebody buys your product, if somebody uses your product, how are they going to be transformed? How is it going to help them? Who has it helped? It's more like testimonials. Who has it helped? How is it going to help them? What has it done? Right? How is it? It could be yours. It could be somebody else that it has done. It could be somebody you know. It could be somebody. But you need to include that. Let them know that, right? And then the next thing you need to do, include in your sales post, is call to action. Some people, we don't know, you have to include call to action because we are here to sell. It is a business and we have to sell. Your call to action could be as simple as inbox me. Your call to action could be as simple as message me, let's chat, click on this link. You just, call to action is more of telling them the next step. People want to hear the next thing to that is human nature. We want to know the next thing to do. Okay, now you have told us all about all these things you have told us. So now you've told them all these things, you've explained all these things to them, tell them the next thing to do to help them. Because you're out here to help them. Don't be afraid of selling. Don't fear to sell because you are providing a solution to them. You are out here to help. You're out here to help. The solution you are providing is beneficial to the person. That person needs it. That's why we should come and sell. That's why we should let them know that we can help them. So selling is more of letting the person know that, look, I can help you. Just click on here and let's chat and let me help you out. So those are the things you should include. Then the next thing I want to talk about here are images. But before I continue, I just want to recap on my first one. The first one I mentioned is know your product. You have to know your product. The second one is know your audience. You have to understand your audience, and then you have to understand the solution you bring to the table. And also understanding the pains of your audience and their problems, their challenges. Then the fourth one I talked about is knowing the structure of a sales post. So if you're putting out your content there, you have to understand the structure of a sales post, what it contains, and it contains the educational, transformational, and the call to action, which you have to include. And one thing I like about this, when it comes to sales posts, is stories. You know, maybe you must have heard when they say that fact tells, but story sells. If you want to sell, you have to talk about your story. People relate more when you have a story to say, when you have a story. That's why you see that most sales posts that is storytelling, that has to do with people's what they have gone through and all that. That's why you see that it sells more, because people relate more with your sales story, when you put out your story, and that's why it sells more. So the fifth one I have here are images. Out here on social media, you have to look for images. You have to post with amazing images. Like some people there, they don't have those images to share with. They just post like that. They post some kind of images, you know, but images are catching. It catches people's eyes. So you have to put catching images out there. If you don't know how to create images, I think the program I did yesterday, the live I did yesterday, I did a training on how to create images, on how to do transparent images, create images. Go to canva.com and use it to create your images. Most people out there use Canva for their images you see out here on social media. So go to canva.com and just watch the video I did yesterday on how to create images that you can post out there. Catching images, transparent images. So images are a very good one on on here, if you're selling on here on social media, post images. Sometimes you don't even need to write, right? All you just do is go to Canva, create the image, write what you want to write on it, and then you just throw it out there, and that's it. That takes care of that. So you need to also put images. Images are eye-catching. Some people, that is them, they don't even have time to read all the lengthy stories, all the lengthy things we're putting out there. But with images just explain it, and they understand what you have to explain, and that's it. Then the sixth one I have included, I've just included this sixth one. This sixth one I've included is take action. You know, most times we all learn all these things. We all learn lots of things. We understand how to do lots and lots of things. But our challenge is that we do not take action. So every business owner out there, you are selling out here on social media, you got to take action. You got to come out and sell. Unless you are not selling on social media, unless you're just posting for fun, which is okay. But if you know you're a business owner and you are using social media to build your business, you have to come out and sell. You have to take action. You have to post. Either you're posting on your wall, or you're posting in groups, or if you're not posting at all, you are engaging with other people that have posted. You are socializing. So coming out here on social media to sell, you got to socialize. You socialize out here on social media. Before I go, I'm going to show us some posts I did sometimes just to explain what I have done. I'm going to go on my desktop and I'm going to explain this to us on my desktop. I have to log on. I'm going to explain this on my desktop. I just want to show you, like, so that you understand that it is content that sells. It's not sometimes what you are posting. What you are posting, some people already have it, some people already saying it somewhere, but if you have the right content, it's going to like sell for you. Like this content I put out here. This is something I put out today. I'm just trying to explain to us how content works, right? I have a client that asked me to write content. She sells the PJs, right? And she asked me to help her put up a content for her clothing. So I just wrote this content for her. I just wrote this content. Maybe we can see it. I know. Like I wrote this content for her, right? What actually she's selling on here, if you've not seen it, just go to my wall. I posted it out today. Just go to my wall and check it out and you can read the content. Actually, what this lady is selling here is do you want extra hours of romance this winter? What she's actually selling is extra hours of romance. She's selling that extra time. Oh, hi Kemi. She is selling that extra time. She's not selling, it's not just PJ she's selling. Somebody that is going to buy from her. Not even somebody, actually within 24 hours she posted this on her site. People started calling her to buy. Because what she was selling to them, she was selling to their needs. She was really talking to their needs because what they needed was that extra hour. They needed their children to go to bed, to sleep on time so that they can rest. They can have that extra hour. And that was the emphasis on this post I wrote for her. So what I concentrated on here was on the extra hour she needed. So because I was looking, just like I said, that you have to understand your audience. So I was looking at her audience. I know that her audience she was talking to is a mom. And I'm a mom, right? What does a mom need? Like if you have little children, like when my son was like around 5 years, he likes those all these shirts, like Spider-Man shirt. He likes Spider-Man shirt. So the moment you give him Spider-Man clothing or anything Spider-Man, you are like the best at that particular time. So for a mom, since these are themed PJs, if you get this thing for them, like you're going to be the best. Like anything you tell them to do, they are going to do it. So what they are going to do is they will buy it, wear it on that child, and once you tell the child go sleep, the child is going to go sleep like almost immediately, right? Because you are the best mom at that time. So they are going to go sleep and then you will have that time to yourself. So this thing was just selling that. That was what we are selling. We are not selling PJ. I know the physical thing that they are buying is the PJ, but what we sold on this post was that extra hour of romance. You have that, the child sleeps on time, no argument, no crying, no anything. The child goes to bed and you have that extra time with your spouse. So that was the psychology behind this sales, and that was why she sold a lot on that. So if you are also out there, you have a business, those are the kind of things I'm talking about when I'm talking about content creation. Hi, thanks for tuning in. So those are the things I'm talking about when I'm talking about content creation. Check out, you don't look at the product you are selling. Look beyond the product. Look at the benefit it's going to provide for your audience. Those are the things you have to look at. Yeah, so that's it. Those are the things you got to look at. You got to look beyond the cloth you have, beyond that. Look at those extra things it provides. Hi Queen, thanks for tuning in. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. So look for that what your product provides and use it to sell. Look for the solution it gives. Look for the benefits it gives to your audience and use it to sell. Don't throw your product out there and say buy. You are not the only one selling that product. Thanks. You are not the only one selling that product, right? There are other people out there selling the product. Give your audience the reason why they should buy from you. So that's it. Look for those things. So just to recap on the things I have said today, I'm just spoken on 5 tips on content creation. So the first one I talked about is know your product, understand your product. The second one is know your audience. The third one is know the solution you bring to the table and the pains, challenges, or problems of your audience. Then the fourth one is structure of a sales post. I said your sales post should be educational, transformational, and have call to action. Then the fifth one is images. Look for images, create images. Sometimes you just use images to sell. You don't even need to talk. You just post with amazing images out there and it gets catchy to your audience and they get to you. And the sixth one I just added to this is take action. Yes, it's good to learn all these things. It's good to understand all these things. But if you don't take action, people are not going to come to your house to buy that product, right? You need to take action. It doesn't matter how much product, how amazing the product you have is. Thanks. It doesn't matter how amazing the product you have is. If you don't take action, if you don't go there and take action, the product is not going to leave your house. It's not going to leave the warehouse. So take action. And I have put up challenge I have now. I have a 21-day selling challenge. When I'm talking about 21-day selling challenge, it's more about putting out the right posts out there, putting out the right content. I'm going to teach on content creation because it's content that sells. It's not just the post you put out there. It's the content that sells. And this 21-day selling challenge is hands-on. You learn how to create the right content. You look at the audience. You need to understand your benefits of your product, understand the pains of your audience, and then you create the right content and you go out there and post it. And there's the accountability. Within 21 days, we will be doing this together, you and I in that group. All of us there will be doing it, and I'll be watching like, I don't want to say I'll be policy, but I'm gonna be watching like watching what you are doing to make sure you're creating the right content, because there's no need for you to go and learn something and you don't put it into practice, you forget. I mean, sometimes it's not so much of all the money we put in there. Sometimes it's taking action. That's the major thing, and that's why I make it a challenge. I just don't want to teach you and you go. That's why I'm making it a challenge, so that when you come to that place, you put it into practice. So that when you come into that program, yes, Queen, soon, don't worry. So that when you put it into practice, when you learn it, you put it into practice and you go immediately. And why I made it 21 days is because of this. They say in 21 days, you build a habit or you break a habit. And what we are trying to do here is to build a habit. Build the habit of selling on social media. That's why I made it 21 days. So that by the time you do that practice for 21 days, you go out there for 21 days practicing how to sell on social media. Practicing selling. Not even how. Now you are selling. Practicing selling on social media, you build the habit, you understand the steps, you understand how to create the content, and you go out there and sell and increase your sales and have that shift. I mean, all of us, we want that shift in our businesses, right? You go out there and have that shift in your business. So that's it. If you have not grabbed a spot, inbox me and grab your spot. 21 days, we go have that shift in our businesses. Thanks for viewing. And if you know there are other business owners out there that actually today's content is good for, share this on your wall, because there are some people that want to understand content creation. They don't know about these 5 tips of content creation. Just share this on your wall so that other people out there too will benefit from today's training. All right, thanks for viewing and have a good day. Now, hi Kemi, thanks for viewing. Hi Queen, thanks for viewing and have a good day now. Bye.